Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 2. Hopefully, you got all the assignments done for week 1, but we're going to kind of dive into week 2, make sure you understand what to do. This video is there to help you out with it. If you do run into any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see here is there will be a video here. I'm making this video right now, so what you hear here is going to show up there in just a little bit. But let's go through each and every single one of the assignments as much as possible. The first of which deals with ISTE and empowered learners. So what you're going to do is you'll click on this, and you will see it pop up on the screen. A couple different things. One, you'll see the assignment right here where it says notes on videos. So watch the following videos, and there are 3 videos. Okay, so make sure you watch all 3 and write at least 2 ideas from each video. You can either type them up or you can do it in the right submission box. Should say box, not Bach. You can upload a Word file, a Google Doc. You can put the link in there. Just make sure you do 2 ideas from each video and I can see it. As long as you do that, you're all right. If you do a Google Doc, make sure you give me access. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the last assignment, but make sure you give me access. Otherwise, I won't be able to see it, and I want to make sure to give you the credit you deserve. Okay, so that's the first assignment. So make sure you watch each of these 3 videos. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Feedback to improve practice, customized learning environments, and learning goals. Once you do that, make sure you click in that one and put your submission, and then you're all set with that assignment. If I go back, so that's the first assignment for the week. The second assignment is to look at flipped classrooms and blended learning. So if we look at this one right here, you'll see, and it should show up in just a second. Hopefully, I don't know why the picture's not showing up, but it should show up here. You're going to look at what the flipped classroom is all about. You'll see a video right here from Edutopia about rethinking space and time with the flipped classroom, which tech tools are right for it, what a flipped classroom looks like, and some examples of what it actually does inside the classroom. And then what you have to do are these 2 things for the flipped classroom. When could the flipped classroom be used in the following scenarios? Place your response to these in the right submission box. So you'll click on this right here and make sure you use 5 to 7 bullets each. 1 for the 5th grade classroom, whatever, however you use it for that, and a 10th grade woodshop. So a little bit different, trying to get you guys to think about how these can be used once you watch those videos and kind of look at that. The next thing you'll have to do is a flipped classroom article. So what you'll do is you'll click on this link, choose an article from the topic area for the flipped classroom, doesn't matter which article you pick, post a quote from the article, kind of tell us what the article is about, and respond to the article on how it could be used as in the classroom as a teacher. Okay. On the top of while you're doing that, you're doing also blended learning. I know the picture's not showing up here, but it should show up for you. If it doesn't, please let me know. Blended learning is a little bit different than flipped learning. So you want to see what the compare and contrast to it is. With blended learning, there's a couple of videos making it work in your classroom, what it looks like, and then you have, just like the flipped classroom, you have 2 blended classroom scenarios. How could you use blended learning in, say, a 7th grade math class, and how could you use it in a 12th grade English class? So a little bit higher in terms of the grade level, even if you're going to do elementary, but think about if you had to do something for a specific class, what would that look like, and how could you adapt it? I'm not asking you to do that. I just want to see what you would think about it. And again, 5 to 7 bullets for each of those. And then the last thing is that blended classroom article. So you'll pick an article from Edutopia. And again, just like for the flipped classroom, you'll do something also for the blended classroom. So there's a little bit that goes along here. Make sure you do it in Slack, the hashtag flipped or blended for both of those. You can do them all in one shot. So you could do flipped and blended and your responses and quotes all in one post, or you could break it up. Just as long as I see that you've done both, you'll be all set. So that's the second assignment. The third assignment, and I got to go all the way back up to the top, and we come back here, is the empowering students through choice. So what I need you to do is click on it, and basically a Google Slides presentation is going to appear. Once you do that, you'll be able to click on any of the links, and I want you just to look at the stuff. This week, if you could look at it, It's going to make a difference when we're going to try to do a few things later on in the course. You know, obviously we got to do a lot of stuff really fast, but definitely want to take your time and look at it. You might even see some places where it's like, hey, I want to look at that a little bit more, and go down that rabbit hole and kind of look at it. The next thing is going to lead to our fourth and fifth assignments, screencasting materials. So when you look at this one, I'm going to click on it right now, you will have to screencast a lesson. We talked about this in class, but I just want to make sure to reiterate. You're going to screencast a lesson. And there's a few things to know about screencasting. You may want to use Screencastify, which is a Chrome extension. Screencast-O-Matic is something. All of these should be stuff you could do web-based, where you don't have to download anything, except for the extensions on Google. If you do download something, just be careful with it. You're more than welcome to use any other video makers that you want, but I'm just trying to show you some easy ones that might save you some time. So Screencast-O-Matic, there's a link there. Go Video as a Chrome extension. One thing I will tell you to do, make sure you do this creating your YouTube channel, because you're going to need that to use the video, then to do the last part of the assignment. Loom is what I'm actually using right this second, so I'm making this video using Loom. I'll tell you it's a pretty easy thing to do. And then last thing is using PowerPoint. All the ones that use Loom and Screencastify, assuming that you are using your web browser, which means you're probably using Google Slides. So it's pretty easy to do that way. If you still have PowerPoint, I'm a dinosaur, I use PowerPoint all the time, I can still make videos using that as well, just the same way. So make sure if you're using PowerPoint, check that out. There's a video to watch. Loom, all that stuff has information, and in case you run into any issues, do not hesitate to talk to me, because if something's going wrong, I want to help you out before you get frustrated, because I can understand when that happens. So coming back here, so after you kind of look at those screencasting materials, decide what you want to do, you're going to come to number 4. You're going to screencast a mini lesson. Okay, so you're going to create a short mini lesson on a topic, and again, any topic you want. It could be a first grade topic. It could be a 5th grade topic. It could be a high school topic. Whatever you want to be. But just remember, only 5 to 7 minutes. Nothing really large. If you just go to the 5-minute mark, that's perfectly fine, especially if this is the first time you're doing it. Okay? You should speak to the camera as if you're teaching a class of students, kind of like what I'm doing now. So I should see your picture in the video. That's why you see mine in the video. So please make sure you have a webcam that you're able to do it. That's going to be important as we go through this. What you'll need to do is post your video to YouTube. And I'm going to show you that in just a second, kind of a little bit of the process, but I'm not going to go through everything just to save time. Okay. And remember, a screencast is a recording of your screen with your image. You can create videos without that, and I tend to do it without it. Once I've done a few of them, they kind of get used to my voice and my inflection and my passion. Then they understand how I'm explaining it. If your first one, I just want to see you explain it, kind of get used to it as if you were teaching. So you're not actually teaching a class, but you're kind of going through that process. So please make sure you do so. If you're running into tech issues for that, let me know. And again, if you're teaching in this screencast and it's not really good, I'm not going to grade you on whether it's good or bad. I'm grading you on the technology portion. Can you get that technology to work, and can you make a video? If you realize that that video is not very good, no worries. I'm only going to be the only one that sees it. Then the next time you make a video, you'll know what to do better. And that's part of the learning process as teachers. So if you're looking to get into education, that's one of the big things. Sometimes the first time you do something, it does not work, but that's why we get better at it. So again, don't stress about whether or not everything is perfectly done. If you need help, let me know. Last thing you'll have to do is put the YouTube link in the right submission box. Make sure I have access to it, and I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit. But once you do that, that assignment is done. However, you have to do that assignment before you can do the last assignment. So that's going to be really important that you get that screencast done. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time to download, to upload. So it depends on your internet speed. So you want to give yourself plenty of time so you're not frustrated at it. Okay, a 5 to 7 minute video could take a couple minutes to upload to YouTube if you've got really fast internet, or it could take a lot longer. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time. But let's look at YouTube. So to talk about how to post that video. So if I've got YouTube right here, And you guys should hopefully be able to see this on my screen. This is my YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time for different things. But if you want to post to YouTube so you can get the link, come over here to this right-hand side. Now you've got to log in. So make sure you create that account so that way you can log in and you can post something there. So when you press create, it's going to say upload a video. We're not worried about going live or anything like that. That's not anything we're going to do, but uploading a video is what you want. What you're going to do is once you click on that, it's going to take you to what is called YouTube Creator Studio, creating channel content. Okay, this is where you're going to put your video. And so once you've made your video and you've downloaded it for whatever platform you have, and usually that's an MP4. Again, if you run into any issues, let me know. What you'll do is you could drag and drop here or select the file. Once you do that, it's going to go through the process of actually uploading the video to YouTube, processing it, and making it to where it can be viewed on the internet. But make sure you do that. Once you do that, make sure the title is there, and then you're going to get to a point where once you're done, you're going to have, say, a video here that's going to show it. In this case, this is my parent video, back to school night. When we had our meeting on Thursday, we actually had back to school night, so I made a video for parents to watch. So what you would do is you want to go to the options and you want to get a shareable link. Okay, so this is the link that you're going to need to post inside Blackboard. Once you click on this, hopefully it's going to show up real quickly. I might have already actually done it. But once you get the shareable link, I think it automatically copies it. And then you're going to go into Blackboard, and then what you're going to do is paste it in there and submit it. Make sure that if it's private, that's fine. Make sure it's restricted to anybody with the link can view. We're not trying to make it public. If you don't want everybody to see it and comment and do any of that stuff, just make sure you keep it either unlisted or you keep it private. Okay, that's the big thing. Next thing is once you've done that, come back to our content here. Our last assignment, making a Google Form quiz. Okay, so your lesson that you're making, I need you to make a quiz after that. Okay, so there's some instructions step by step to take you through to make the quiz, but I'm going to kind of go through it. It's really not that difficult. You can make a multiple choice quiz, you can make a short answer, you can make numbers, however you want to do it. I make quizzes all the time, and then I can give them a link and they can do it at their own pace. So it's one of those nice things, including, if you're doing reading quizzes or anything and they have to do something at home. Battle of the Books, my wife does that. She's made a lot of Google quizzes where if they've read the book, they take a quick quiz on the book. So as a librarian, they read the book, so you can check out the next book. So these can be really helpful, and especially when most kids are now having phones, parents have phones, they can still do this anywhere that they are at. So first thing you have to do to make a Google Form quiz, make sure you have your lesson done, and you kind of have your questions ready, because the faster it goes is when you have your questions ready. You're going to embed the video lesson into the quiz, and then you're going to send me a link through Blackboard that's going to allow me to access it, and we'll talk about that. So if I go into Google Forms, and this is Google Forms right here, again, make sure you go to forms.google.com. You'll do like a blank quiz or blank form, and then you'll come into a page like this. I've already put sample quiz here. First thing you should put in is your video. So my video is, I go right here where it says add video. So it kind of looks like the YouTube channel button, and really that's how they put it. Google and YouTube actually are related to each other, so they allow you to embed it very easily. So if I click on add video, what I will do is I will take that URL from YouTube, and I've pasted it here. And I'm going to press enter, and there's that video. I talked about the parent view video, back to school night. I copied that link. What I'll do is I'll click on that and I'll press select, and that video is going to show up right here. Okay, and I could put back to school. Oh, I gotta write that correctly. School night video. And one of the nice things you can do is if you come up here, you notice it's underneath the question. I can move it right up, and so it's the first thing they see. And then I can create questions here. So if I come here, I can create multiple choice questions. I can create checkboxes, drop downs where they have to pick one. They can do a paragraph, short answer. It could be linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid. There's lots of different choices you can make. Again, keep it simple. For this first quiz that you're making, keep it as simple as possible, and then you're all set. Again, you should have between, if I'm not mistaken, 5 to 7 questions. If you go up to 10 questions, that's perfectly fine, but I don't want you to have to do a lot of work. Once you've done that, there's a few things you're going to have to do. And with Google, everything's saved, so you don't have to worry about pressing the save button and worry about losing it. It automatically saves it and keeps it in your Google Drive. You will need to send it to me. Okay, so if I say send, what you're going to do is come here to the link, and you're going to copy this link, or you can shorten it, and you can copy it and paste that into Blackboard. Once you're done with the quiz, so then I can view it, I can see that the video is embedded, I can see that your questions are there. I might even watch the video and take the quiz, and then you can see what the results are. Okay, so I might act as a student so you can see that. We'll talk more about that when we see each other the next week on Thursday, so you can see if some people have got it done, we can kind of go through what it looks like. But one of the big things is to make sure you give me access. Again, anything Google, a lot of times you have to give me access. I realize that sometimes I make a mistake and I don't give you access, like our getting to know you slides. So I've got to add you once you ask for access. But to solve that problem, make sure you come over here to these 3 dots for the form, and you want to add collaborators. You'll click on that, and you're going to get this, add editors or anything like that. When you talk about general access, you see how it says restricted. Only people with access can open with the link. But because a lot of times we deal with different organizations, you might be using it from whatever school site or school district you're in. And a lot of times school districts don't talk to each other, especially on Google. So what I need you to do is click it, anyone with the link. So I'm part of the Kern High School District. So if I click that, only Kern High School District addresses can allow to view it. If I keep it on restricted, a lot of times it doesn't work depending on a lot of settings. So what I want to do is anyone with the link. Okay, anyone with the link can do that. And I think I want to, let me check this again. Is it? Okay, so yeah, just make sure anyone with the link can edit. I think I want editors, but let me see. I just want to check to make sure I've got it. And once you do that, make sure you send it to me so I can see it. Okay, you just copy it, and then you press done, and then put it into Blackboard. Okay, so I know it's a lot of information very quickly. So coming back to Blackboard, remember you're going to do the ISTE Empowered Learner. You're going to do the Flipped Classroom and Blended Learning. Look at Empowering Students Through Choice. You're not going to actually do anything there. Look at the screencasting materials if you need refresher or you need to learn how to do it. Screencast a mini lesson, so come up with that ahead of time. You know, the sooner you're able to do that, the better. And then make the quiz for that lesson there. Once you've completed all 5 of these things, you're all set for the week. And we'll meet again on Thursday. So once we meet again, I can handle any tech issues there. And I'm here to help you. And again, if you have any questions, email me, get a hold of me. I want to help you out. I don't want you to get frustrated. I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday, and hopefully you'll have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you on Thursday.